Hi guys, handstand conditioning for today. We've got 3 circuits. We have 4 exercises in each circuit. We're going round each circuit 3 times. So we're going to be 18 minutes total work. That's Tabata format, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Shoulders, we're going to cover core, lower body and handstand skill as well. So we'll get round all of that. Whatever level you're at, this is going to be a great circuit for you to get tuned up, get ready to go, fill in some of the gaps that get missed if all you're doing is trying to kick up to handstand all of the time. Right, let's get going. Timer's on in the background. If you want to know what the exercises are ahead of time, feel free to fast forward, skip through, and all of that stuff. The only bit of equipment you're going to need, apart from a clear bit of space and a wall to kick up against at 1 or 2 points, is some sort of band like this, or a broomstick. You can just hold your hands above your head for the exercise we've got in mind. But if you've got a band, that'd be really helpful. First exercise, a wall glide. You're going to be facing the wall, doing this sort of movement there, and then we'll be on the floor for the rest of them. Just follow along. So starting off, we've got a 10-second break to start off with. Always nice to start on a rest. So get yourself facing into the wall, elbows and fingertips as close on the wall as you can, and we're just pushing up overhead, facing into the wall, and trying to extend up and lift your shoulders as much as possible. We're assuming you've done a bit of a warm-up just now already. So just push on up, but this is a pretty good exercise to warm up on regardless. Just big push up. And then we've got a 10-second break now while you get ready for the next exercise, which is a straddle pike push. You're going to be sitting down on the ground. Hands either side of one of your legs. Push your butt up off the ground, lower down, switch sides, butt up off the ground, and lower down. You can lift your front foot as well, so you've got the whole leg off the ground. Now, if you're one of these people that can already do a straddle lever, pancake press, whatever you call it, then go ahead and do that one as well. Otherwise, that's a good one to get into. Next one, 90-90 rise up. So, feet here. Stage 1 for this one would be just to switch across 90-90 style. But we are looking at pushing up here to get some internal rotation going on the hips. Big push up, make sure your hips are properly warmed up to support that lunge down into your handstand. If your lunge is a bit off, the handstand's going to really struggle. And the last one we've got is a wrist press in this circuit here. So hands on the ground, easiest version is in here, pushing up and down. Slightly more tricky out here and much more tricky out there. And it's the same motion all of the time, pushing up to your fingertips, down onto the bottom of your knuckles, down onto the heel of your hand. Push up, down and down. Okay, back to the start, back onto the wall, facing the wall. You can do this just standing in space like I am as well, but it's easier if you've got a frame of reference. Hand and elbow on the wall, push up overhead, thumbs as close as you can together. Nice big push up. And this is helping tune into that long, straight line, stacked shape, which makes your handstand nice and easier to balance as well. Right, down onto the ground for the pike sit. So for this one, you can also lift just the front foot. You can do that as well. So lift here, switch sides, lift there. The stronger your hip flexors and your core are, the easier it's going to be for you to maintain a handstand balance. And the more time you've spent getting this sort of hip lifting motion in, and pushing down with the shoulder blades, the easier it's going to be for you to one day start to work towards a press as well. Right, 90-90 with the rise up. So knee to foot, and then pushing up, hips through and down. Try and move fairly slowly, even though we've only got 20 seconds of each one. You could change these intervals if you wanted to, but this is fine for us just now. Pushing up and through, nice and steady. Good. Back on the wrist press now. So if this one annoys the wrists a little bit, put them further out away from you and push from there. If you're feeling quite tight, and off we go. If you've done quite a lot of practice in the last while, you might want to do a slightly easier version. and work towards the harder ones where you're more out in a front support shape. Good, front support, top of a press up. That's my word for it anyway. Right, back on the wall glides. So facing the wall, you can do this with your back to the wall as well. Very slightly different emphasis. Facing the wall usually is a little bit easier. With your back to the wall, there's a bit more involved in the external rotators on your shoulder, which for some people can be pretty tight. So facing the walls are one for just now. Good, last set on the straddle pikes. You might want to try holding a bit longer this time. You've had a few goes to get into it. So hands down, maybe hold for a couple of seconds here, push up and hold, slowly down, switch, push up and hold, slowly down. One more time, up and hold and down, switch, up and hold and down. Now your flexibility in that position is going to be a real determinant in whether you can do it or not. If you don't have good flexibility in the pike sit, the straddle pike sit, it's going to be very challenging for you. 90-90, push up, nice and steady. So you're not using your hands too much, not using your momentum too much, just pressing off of that front foot, the front knee, and up. And trying to move with control wherever possible. And then rest in, last set on the wrist press. Now our next exercise after this wrist press is going to use the band. So get ready to hold onto your band, your broomstick, whatever it is you're going to use. Give us a push. And you should feel these arm calves working a little bit now. They should feel ready to go to help you balance in your handstand as your weight moves around. Right, grab your band, grab your stick, or just hold your hands over your head. We're doing an overhead squat with the band. So you're going to hold on to quite a bit of tension, squat down, and feel your upper back really start to lock in. We're trying to keep it upright as possible. This isn't really an Olympic lifting squat technique. We just want your upper back tensing, keeping your arms vertical as much as possible. Right, plank tucks next. So you're down on an elbow plank. And then we're going to move the hips around. So your pelvis is going to be tilting like a cat-cow in the elbow plank. What we're not doing is having the pelvis move up and down. It's staying the same height off the floor the whole time. But you're going into like a happy cat, angry cat type of position. Really good exercise for control of your body shape in your handstand. Lower body, reverse lunge. So put the weight on the front leg, and we're trying to put as much through that front leg as possible to help your handstand lunge keep as strong as it can be so that you're not falling onto your hands, which will make kicking up into balance a little bit more tricky. And you need to keep that nice and slow and steady. We don't want to be jumping through it like it's high rocks or anything right now. Right, 1 inch jump, get into space. We're reaching one body length away, and just a small hop, switch legs, reach in, small hop, stick in. A 1 inch jump is what we're looking for. We're not trying to get into a handstand, we are just trying to make sure that you've got some weight on your hands now and that you know your space. So that's the first time round. Grab the band again. Let's go for your overhead squats. A little bit more tension this time, so there's a little bit more work going on. Hands as high as you can overhead. Sit right down, stand right up. From the side again, trying to keep your arms as vertical as possible while you're moving up and down. Now this isn't Olympic lifting technique, as I said. Don't chuck me any comments on that. That's a handstand overhead conditioner to help keep your shoulders as open as possible. Down into plank for the plank tucks. And we're going to tuck that right in and then really flex. Yeah, it's a good amount of tension there. When you really tuck under into an anterior tilt, and a posterior tilt. Really make that change happen. You'll feel your lower back start to like crunch up a little bit. Reverse lunging again, get yourself ready. So again, slowly on the negative, just nice and steady. And up, nice and steady. And feel the different strengths in your legs. You will have a good leg and a less good leg. Ideally, with your handstand practice, we're going to kick up on both quite regularly to make sure you're not getting stuck into just one side. And we don't want one mobile hip and one not mobile hip. That's no good. Right, 1-inch jumps. Make sure your space is safe. Reaching for one body length away and slightly higher this time. And get some control with your fingertips. Reaching in. Slight control with your fingertips to help you come down. Reach in. And we're just trying to hit a bit of a line in your handstand now, so that when you go on after your conditioning circuit, have a rest there, grab your band or your stick, or just with your hands, choke up a bit more. So after the circuit, when you're properly ready to go, and do some skill practice on the wall in free space with a spotter, whatever it is, that you are ready to actually kick up into a handstand, rather than having to then warm up the skill of kicking up. Right, core again, into plank tucks. This is halfway now. Halfway there, guys. Crunch the back up, flex the core. Crunch the back up, flex the core. You can make this harder by putting your hands further away from you, by being up in a high plank as well. We're doing an elbow plank version today, and this will give you more core power to change your body shape when you're upside down. A lot of you will find that when you're in your handstand shape, ready for lunging, guys, that it's quite hard to change your shape. And that might be a skill or awareness thing, but it could just be horsepower. And the more of the plank tucks that we do, the more horsepower you're going to have, the easier it's going to be for you to change your shape when you're upside down. And it's hard enough, you're already upside down. It doesn't have to be much harder, does it? All right, 1-inch jump for the last time, then we're into our final circuit. So make sure your space is safe, looking for one body length away. That's where your hands are going. Step over halfway. And a little bit of a longer hold this time. Stretch in. And down. Still very much biasing towards coming back down. We're not trying to kick so much that we end up going over. You're staying on this side just now. Right, wall pike push. So you're going to need to find a bit of wall, feet on the wall, and squat backs and forwards. You're trying to get your hips over your hands. You may need to pause at this point. Go and find a wall space. This one might have taken you by surprise. It's not exactly a quick copy along one, I know. If you have paused and had a go, welcome back. That's the pike one. Wiper circles. You're going to line your back now. Lift your legs up and draw a big circle with your feet. Let your pelvis roll side to side, but keep your shoulders on the ground. And we're trying to make all of your core work in some fashion. You can draw a small circle. You can go clockwise, anti-clockwise. We just want all of that to work at some point in this exercise. Get all of that core switched on. Heel kicks next for our lower body. So that is hands down, toes in, and we're trying to lift the back foot and get your shoulders through. Switch legs, lift the back foot, really squeeze your butt, shoulders through. There you go. Heel up, squeeze your butt, shoulders through. And that's the line that we're looking for in your handstand. You might feel like you're pushing off the ground a little bit, and that'd be great. Right, wall drill. So what we're doing is we're trying to find a patch of wall for you to kick up on, and you're going to do whatever your best wall drill is just now. Pushing up, switching, walking in the air. whichever one's going to be most useful for you. Let's bring the numbers back. There we go. So get onto the wall for that one. Back onto the pike now. Let's go. So, feet up on the wall and squat in and push your hips over. It might help to tuck your chin under a bit and try and look. My face was right in the microphone there, it's probably very loud. Try and look up towards your feet, and that'll give you a bit more awareness. Where the eyes go, the spine follows. So where you look will definitely help that. Okay. We've missed one. Awesome. Right, take an extra break and we'll catch up. So, wiper circles, feet to the roof, all the way round. And you can try and draw like a seriously big circle and lift your hips up off the ground as you come this way. Get that space and separation, but you can also just keep it close to the ground and draw a small circle there as well. Both work, it's all fine. Right, what do we got? The heel kicks again. So chest through towards your back foot. So try and get your chest onto your back foot there. Push in, heel up, chest through. Push up, heel up, chest through. Push into the ground. Imagine you're getting pulled apart from your hand to your far away foot. You'll feel a lot of hamstrings happening here. Really drive into the ground. Okay, handstands on the wall. So pick your favorite drill, kick up, and we'll get some time. If you are just holding on the wall, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you're pushing up, stretching up, and getting your shoulders into your ears as much as possible. Really drive that up towards the ceiling and just hold for the whole time. And that's absolutely grand. I'm trying to hover just off the wall a little bit, using my sort of finger pressure from those wrist presses to control me coming off the wall and back on again. Right, wall pikes for the last time. This is a bit where I'm going to shout into the microphone a bit. Apologies. So hands down, up on the wall, squat in, push out, hips overhead. Squat in, push out, hips overhead. And you'll feel the emphasis on your shoulders really change to hitting in between your shoulder blades. Push, and in. Nice. Right, heel kick, wipers again. Down we go. Feeling it now, it's great. Feet up to the roof, nice big circles. Now I think I've gone to the right quite a lot. I'm going to go back round to the left, change this around a little bit. Big long circle, up and round. Lots of control, lots of time at each point. If you don't take the time at each point, you'll skip over muscle groups. They'll play piggy in the middle with the load. And we really want you to, each muscle group, to have a go at supporting your body at each point. Right, heel kicks, pushing up, shoulders through, pushing up, shoulders through, pushing up, shoulders through. I don't think my back leg's very straight there. Let's sort that out. There we go. That's better. Big push. Okay, on the wall. Last one. Let's go. So last little bit, hold on the wall the whole time. Big kick up. Here we go. Have a little walk maybe. Where one foot is just slightly touching the wall. Oh, he's down. He's down. Right, I hope you're staying up the whole time, guys. That does help. We're in the last bit now. Count it down, and we're all good. Well done, everybody. Just going to put a stop there. Stop that beeping away. All good. Thank you, folks, for following along. All you needed for that was just one band and yourself, your body, floor area. It's nice and safe to work in. If you've got any queries about handstand training with me, with online or classes, send me a message at FreeYourselfPT on Instagram is the best way, or comment on this video. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.